Alright, so hello, my name is Miguel Garza, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the production of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere and just steps that we can take as a community in order to decrease these levels of carbon dioxide that will eventually cause us greater harm than it is now. So yes, I hope you learn something from this presentation and you take something valuable if you didn't take anything before. So there was a time in the world where we were all at peace, obviously. We all lived in harmony. Thousands of species actually lived in harmony, just living as a community with one another, either supporting each other or, uh, survival of the fittest, attacking each other. But this was before, obviously, the great and measurable negative environmental human impact that we had on the environment, all because of the greed for money and just monetary wealth, because we are the only species that kind of created this system in which we have to buy in order to survive, which is beyond me because, everything in this world is free. But humans just love making things difficult for themselves and just are really greedy and love money. So I'm guessing that I'm not guessing, I'm kind of suggesting that this is the main topic for my presentation, how monetary wealth can be the leading cause for negative impact on anything, in this case, the environment and CO2 production. So people will do anything and everything in their power to create wealth for themselves, as I already said, even if it means impacting the environment in a negative way. So through the production of oil, of burning of fossil fuels, and just any careless environmental action, which many are taking on a daily basis, the amount of carbon dioxide produced by these actions increases tremendously. We might not think of it, but each individual can contribute to this production of carbon dioxide, and small part by small part, it just adds up. It adds up. As you can see here, this is the pollution. This is the waste that is created by this pollution, which is completely unnecessary. A lot of trash. This is a beach, and this is just one of the thousands of beaches, thousands of forests, thousands of lakes that are polluted and just brought down from their first level, because of the effects of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. So through personal experience with greedy and money-hungry individuals that impact the environment negatively, as well as research that I conducted myself, I have found, and I'm going to propose some possible solutions that we all can partake in, whether it be something small or a big action. Anything will help in the decreasing of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. So although many may think that these huge corporations contribute to global warming and the production of carbon dioxide, it may be surprising and shocking as well, actually, as I'm saying, for many to find out that they too partake in this production of carbon dioxide and partake in the negative impacts that are created for our environment. This afternoon, as I said, I will present and explain some ways in which we all contribute to the production of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, as well as offer simple yet effective methods in which we can decrease our negative impact on the environment and just make a more comfortable home and planet for ourselves and those other species whom are not to blame for our actions, So one of the most well-known ways for carbon dioxide production is the processing of fossil fuels and the use of non-renewable energy. So basically what non-renewable energy is, as you see here, is the burning of fossil fuels essentially. And the reason it's called non-renewable resources is because these fossil fuels, they're made out of obviously broken down animals and dead material that can then be used as energy, but it takes thousands of years to create these sources of energy. So that's our problem, and our solution would be using more renewable resources that work to our advantage, such as wind energy and solar energy, which are basically, if you think about it, obviously the startup costs may add up to something, but these resources will be free for life. We will always have sun, God willing, and we will always have wind. Those are just natural elements of the earth that are there for us that we can use to our advantage in order to create electricity for ourselves in a more convenient way that doesn't impact the environment in such a negative way, pretty much. So by investing in the solar panels and the wind turbines, it's going to cost some at first, but in the long run, it'll save you money, not only money, but it'll also help save your planet. And to add to this, I would also say that those who do have the means of purchasing an electric car should. Because obviously it's self-explanatory. These electric cars run on electricity, so they don't use this gas, that they're not burning any more fossil fuels, and they're not contributing to that carbon dioxide production in our atmosphere as much as a non-electric car does. So my second reason for tremendous amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are landfills and junkyards. Believe it or not, these huge acres of land that are, I guess, put aside for junk, they contribute tremendously to the production of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. However, one way in which we can reduce this is by the use of recycling. And I know that many hear about recycling and just putting plastic in the plastic bins and cardboard in the cardboard bins, but it can go way further than that. So instead of using actual bins, let's say you have some mason jars. You can use those mason jars, clean them out, and use them as storage. Let's say you have some clothing pins. You can use them to put up your notes on the fridge. Just anything, any clothing, even clothing. You can recycle clothing, donate shoes, donate just anything that is recyclable, and in that way you reduce the amount of junk that goes into landfills, and in turn decrease the amount of carbon dioxide that's put out into our atmosphere. And a way in which this can just be kind of promoted is kind of offering incentives for people who do recycle, just offering kind of, maybe we won't charge this month's trash bill or something like that, just offering incentives for people who take the time to actually take these actions to help our planet. So in all, I do believe that by hard work, unity, and perseverance, we will come together eventually to combat these issues, these global environmental issues that are having excessive amounts of CO2 in our atmosphere. And so by taking these small steps individually, we will decrease overall our CO2 levels in the atmosphere. However, it is the responsibility of all of us, not just some of us. It's the responsibility of all of us to just search for a brighter future for ourselves, not only for ourselves, but for our children and other species who we share this planet with. Because it's just, we gotta respect each other and have that kind of back and forth relationship as to where we can trust each other to create better living conditions for ourselves. And we must act now, because it will eventually be too late to do anything about it. And yeah, pretty much this is my speech. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you take something away from this. Hopefully that you will take some action to help combat this problem. Appreciate your time. Like I said again, my name is Miguel Garza, and this was my speech.